referred by my doctor to Dr. Capone. And when the first time I met her, of course, I had come in, had my blood work done, and then this was my diagnosis. She's a very direct person, and I'm a very direct person, so I think we meshed. She didn't sugarcoat it, but I don't know how you sugarcoat cancer. So she was very direct with me. She spelled out what we had to do, and then I was very cavalier by saying, well, what if I don't do this? And then she was very upfront with me on how much time I had left. So of course that changes your whole attitude. And I said, when do you want me in the hospital? So, but then we had a second meeting prior to my going into the hospital. And the first time I was alone, I had no family here. The second time my son was here, my niece came, and my friend. And when Dr. Capone walked in the room, there were 4 of us sitting there. And so she pulled up a chair and she just sat down and she said, okay, what can we talk about? And we really liked that. We just fired questions at her because I knew I couldn't think of them all. And so my son and my niece and my friend and me, and she just sat there and stayed as long as we were asking questions. So I thought that was really great. Every day in the hospital, I knew I would see her between 7 and 7:30 because that's how reliable she is. And so I would get up and I would get ready, and I knew I was sitting waiting for her. And then she would tell me what we had to do and what was going on with my blood. And there were times, it was a little emotional, but I would say to her, I need a hug. And she'd give me a hug. She was good for me. She just hugged me anytime I wanted, hugs me in the office now. So, yeah.
I was impressed because I had been going through prostate cancer, radical, and I was recuperating, and I had a lot of pain all in my leg, and then a hard time breathing. And I wasn't thinking too much of it. I just told my wife, I said, honey, it hurts to breathe. We had a first meeting with Dr. Capone, and she says, you breathing, you do okay? I says, yeah. I said, my chest hurts and my foot hurts, my leg. She says, I think you got a blood clot. And she says, I want a wheelchair here stat. And she says, Mr. Davis, you're going nowhere. So she put me back in the hospital for another week. You know, she saved my life. Awesome. From that episode, because if I hadn't have went, who knows? But Dr. Capone is very, very conscientious. She's just got that, I don't know, I'm looking for a good word. Just that caring feeling. And you know it, as soon as she walks in, she starts, how are you? You got any new medicines? You got, how you feeling? Are your bones hurt? And this pull. And she is really concerned. And I love her to death.